What is going on, guys? We have finally reached the end. This is going to be the last Understanding the Officer video for the Generation 1 officers, and we've saved arguably the worst for last. So without further ado, let's go and get started. Welcome back, guys. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. I hope life is going well as always. And like I said in the intro, this is going to be our last Generation 1 Understanding the Officer video, and that is going to complete the series. And hopefully this series has been a big value add to especially the new players in Warpath. But we've saved the worst for last, and you're probably wondering why I say that. And it is because today's video is going to be about Rictus Reaper. But before we jump in and start talking about Rictus Reaper, if you enjoy this video, if you get any value out of this video and you want to continue to see more videos like this in the future, especially if you are a new player, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. All right, now let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about Rictus Reaper and why he is arguably not only one of the worst officers in the game, but probably the single worst exclusive lounge officer to date in Warpath. All right, guys, let's jump in and start talking about Rictus Reaper. And as you can see, I have absolutely not invested a single bit in him. That is how much he is not worth it, in my personal opinion. On paper, he's got some decent skills. The issue is they don't necessarily translate very well into actual combat, on top of the fact that now there are free-to-play options that are infinitely better than Rictus Reaper, so there's just absolutely no reason to even think about investing in Rictus Reaper, considering he is an exclusive lounge officer. And if you want to level up an exclusive lounge officer quickly, then you're obviously going to have to invest some money, and you can do that in much better ways with other officers. Or if you're a free-to-play and you just do it passively by exchanging coins and things like that, you're absolutely going to want to put those into other officers before you even consider Rictus Reaper. So, starting from the top, whenever this officer's bomber troop is sent out on a bombing run, it deals additional damage to enemies hit by its first bomb. Damage coefficient is 1,000, obviously when fully maxed out. 20% less to each additional target. Each bomb dropped increases the damage intensity of this officer's troop by 18%, stacks up to 5 times. So obviously you can get some pretty big damage out of that for each bombing run that goes by. Skill number 2, an offensive skill, increases the firepower of this officer's bomber by 10%. Skill number 2, which is an offensive skill, increases the firepower of this officer's bomber by 30%. So not bad, but nothing just mind-blowingly good. Skill number 3, which is a protection skill, increases the damage resist of this officer's troop by 15%. Very standard. Absolutely nothing worthwhile there. Skill number 4, a special skill. This officer's bomber troop has a 40% chance to recover HP after killing an enemy unit. Healing coefficient is 500. And then his 5th and final skill, his fully awakened skill. After completing a bombing run, this officer's bomber troop drops an additional bomb, dealing massive damage. Damage coefficient is 2,500, 20% less to each additional target, and increases its cruising speed by 20% for 10 seconds. So I would like to start with his 4th skill first, which is a special skill. Obviously, this officer's bomber troop has a 40% chance to recover HP. So you have less than a 50% chance. So it is more likely than not that it won't recover any HP. So that's already, in my personal opinion, not, I mean, if it was a 50-50 chance, you know, maybe that makes it a little bit more appealing, but you've got less than a 50% chance to recover any HP, on top of the fact that the healing coefficient is not very good. They've put this to the test in the past. I've known multiple people who have invested in Rictus Reaper more kind of early on when he was one of the original exclusive lounge officers, because on paper, again, he does look like a decent officer, all things considering, but this healing coefficient is really not good, especially when you've got just pretty irrelevant number one, there's, like I said, there's less than a coin flip of a chance that you're actually going to get it anyway. On top of the fact that if you are a bomber, you're going to get just hunted by fighter planes, so it kind of makes that obsolete. Moving to skill 3, this is such a generalized run-of-the-mill skill. It is absolutely not impressive whatsoever. You can get this very easily on other officers, no big deal. His second skill increases the firepower. Sorry if that made a little sound. I hit my mic arm here. But his second skill, increasing the firepower buff, I mean, that, the 30%'s good. There's some like 20%'s out there or whatever. So the 30% is good, but it's not like unit altering by any means. And then, of course, his first skill, his tactical skill, is pretty good. I mean, if you're talking about increasing damage intensity by 18%, and that 18% can stack up to 5 times, I mean, that's some pretty impressive damage. The issue is you have to invest all into this skill to max that out. And if you do that, and you're not, if you're like a free-to-play or a very low spender that is going to be just most of the time exchanging standard coins for the exclusive lounge coins, it's going to take you a while to get this skill. And then once you even get it, all of these are still not even touched. So, like, it still makes it just not worth it. And then obviously, as we know, unless you're just brand new to Warpath, that to get this fully awakened skill, you have to completely max the first 4 skills. So you're going to have to invest a lot of time, money, or both in some cases, depending on how much you invest, to max out all the skills to even get this. So there's so many other better exclusive lounge officer options that, especially with, a couple of his skills being super unimpressive and lackluster, just not even worth it. With that being said, if you are a player who has played Warpath for any length of time and you have invested in Rictus Reaper, feel free to drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. It may help add a little bit of additional value to new players. From my experience, obviously I've never used Rictus Reaper, but from the players who I have spoken to over the years who have invested in him and who have fully awakened him, absolutely regretted it. Especially those who, put some big money early on into him. He's just simply not it. So take that for what it's worth. If you're one of those that just feel like you have to have, if you're going to dump a ton of money into the game and feel like you have to have him, by all means, go do your thing. But if you are if you're a player that's either free to play or a low to medium, tier spender, and you're looking to maximize your ROI in terms of money invested, then Rictus Reaper is absolutely not something you want to invest in. As always, if you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you've got access to Discord and are not already in our community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video below. Click on that link. It will take you right into the community Discord server. Whether you are a new player or a veteran player, it doesn't matter. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.